Welcome back to Wild, Wise and Curious, Embracing Our Journey, where we're excited to continue the conversation around all things Peri and beyond. We'll continue to explore all our stories, challenges and importantly the wisdom we learn along the way. As usual, we'd love to chat with women just like you who might like to share your own perimeno or post-menopause stories with us. We can't wait to chat with you. Welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious. Today we're chatting with Sarah. Welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious, Sarah.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, how did you come, Sarah, to realise that you were in perimenopause?
Oh, God. Well, it's an interesting story, actually, because it was kind of triggered without me expecting it. I had... I don't know whether you would remember this actually, Mish, because it was when we were at uni. I had to go into hospital and I had a uterine ablation. Which my husband at the time thought was really funny because he told people that he couldn't come to work because I was in hospital having my minge singed. So for those that don't know what a uterine ablation is, it's basically a procedure where they burn out the lining of your uterus so that it can't develop every month, and you basically stop having periods and you stop having the ability to get pregnant, and it's used as kind of a final thing for any issues that you have with periods or long-term period pain or endometriosis, all the kind of things that women fall apart with, and sort of they're asking me, you know, is your family complete now? This is what we can potentially offer you. So I had that done. And off the back of that, I found myself going into my sort of late 30s, starting all the symptoms that were leading towards perimenopause, and there I was, riding it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was while you were at uni. Did the perimenopause symptoms kick in then as well?
No, it kicked in my first year of teaching.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it was great, perfect timing. Just what you need, memory loss, when you're starting out as a teacher.
Oh, crikey.
So yeah, it literally started. It started like really simple things. Like I'd be mid-sentence, and my brain would go, "Nope, you have no idea what you're talking about. We're gonna trail back 4 conversations ago and confuse the life out of you." And it started as simple as that, and then gradually all the other bits and bobs came with it, and I'm still going.
Yeah, yeah.
So did you recognise it at that point, Sarah, or did that like come later, and it's only then retrospectively you've been able to say, actually that's when it started?
Yeah, I only found out actually what it was in about 2019. So I went through it and I was doing it, and I just used to use the scatty blonde, you know, kind of thing. Busy mum, trying to work, I'm just knackered, all this sort of stuff. And it got to a point where I was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and these symptoms were there, and I was Googling things and I was doing my own research, because obviously the researcher in me came raging to the surface. So I needed to kind of find answers to things. And I fell upon these wonderful forums that were, you know, women my age talking about things that you expect to hear women in their 50s and 60s talking about.
Yeah.
And it shocked me, and I was like, I kind of went through a bit of a plethora of emotions, and it really surprised me and it shocked me, and then I felt cross, and then I was like, oh bless them, and then at the same time I was like, oh thank God, I'm not dying.
Yeah, not on your own. Yeah.
It is funny, isn't it, how you go through all those emotions when you're going through this whole roller coaster.
And that's kind of the thing, that was the moment where it went, right, okay, good, you established those emotions now, because we're going to pop those in at random points now. Yeah, they're going to come when you're not expecting them.
Of course they are.
It's like when I'm just driving to work and I'll just randomly burst into tears.
Yes, yeah.
It's like, why? What am I crying for?
Oh God, and it's silly things on films and stuff,
silly
isn't
stuff
it?
that seems completely unjustifiable in the moment, and yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. And
quite funny though.
What? So, what are your range of emotions? Do you get cross and grumpy and anything like that?
I've developed such a short temper.
Yeah.
Like my temper is horrific on a bad day. Some days I'm the most patient person in the world, and it also depends on the situation I'm in. Like at work, I'm renowned for being quite patient and tolerating quite a lot. And so I was in a particularly perimenopausal day, and one of my lads at work said something to me, and I suddenly turned into that character, you know, the character out of the American sitcom where they're like, I think I may have been a little bit irrational, and they go, a bit? You go, shut up. Do you know who I mean? Is it Kitty?
I don't know.
I know Kitty. There's a reel of it that develops on Instagram every now and again, and I was like, oh God, I'm turning into that. So it'll be anything from being really short-tempered to, I find I get very emotionally overwhelmed very quickly. Like I'll cry at stuff that I have no control over, that is of no relevance to me at all. Like I'll see someone walking down the street by themselves and go, oh bless them, they must be lonely.
Yes.
Well, that's going to ruin my day now.
Yes.
But then I'll almost go into like a happy mania sometimes of excitement about things, and then crash really hard.
Yes.
It's really exhausting.
It's a proper roller coaster, isn't it? That is just the right way to describe it, because, and you never know what you're going to get on any given day, do you?
No, that's what I think is the funny part of it, because it's almost like, who am I going to be today? It's like they'll come in at work and they'll be like, what sort of mood are you in? I was like, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, let's see how it goes.
I love that.
But yeah, I think you have to find it funny, because this is something that we have to sit with for donkey's years. Like, since I started researching it, to find out what it was that I've sort of been doing, it's been 6 years, and it was a good 2-3 before that. So yeah,
Your mind's the same. Mine is 2019, with random stuff like tinnitus and like funny breathing patterns and weird stuff that I would never have associated with it. And then Lou will say there's like 60 odd symptoms.
Do you know the one thing you're right. But there's like one thing, I think the thing that I kind of have experienced the most, that I'm just going to say it, I'm not all right with it.
Yeah.
Vertigo.
Oh yes, I struggle with that. Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's horrible when you get it.
Yeah, it's so, I can't even think of the words to describe how it makes you feel, but I lose all orientation and I always find it happens when I'm standing somewhere where I've got nothing to get hold of.
Right.
So when I come out, so I use the lift at work, and I come out at the top, and the landing that I come out on, it's a really big open plan space like that, and it's got like a railing around the edge, like so it's like a metal railing, but it's got like one bit and then a bit underneath it with a big gap, right? And they're all the way around the edge, so you're completely enclosed. But I come out of the lift and I just genuinely go, oh my God, I'm going to fall off the edge. I'm nowhere near the edge.
Yes, yeah.
But I think the time that it scared me the most was when it happened when I was in the shower. Vertigo in the shower is absolutely horrid, and it was genuinely quite frightening. I had baths after that for a while, just for a little bit, because I genuinely thought I was going to fall, and I tried to stop myself by catching the water.
Oh crikey! Oh bless you.
It wasn't effective. But yeah, that's I don't enjoy vertigo. I don't enjoy it at all. So I know when I'm going to be going somewhere that I think that it could potentially happen, I try to kind of avoid doing that.
Yeah, and that's what I get it. I get it if I move my head too much. So I get it like I think it's called BPPV. It's more situational, like how I'm moving my head. So like I have to be really careful with yoga and stuff like that, because if I do too many downward dogs, it brings it on, and then I'll get really unwell and I can be in bed for days. But it has
like that at the gym as well. Yeah.
It's completely changed the way I live my life now. So I have to be really careful about what I do and what I don't do, and it's just it's horrible. It's horrible when you get it, because it's the worst feeling. The worst time I had it, literally every time I moved, I was sick. And it was like that for a week. Yeah, it was. Oh, I was so.
That wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, it was. I can't remember when it was.
Yeah,
I blocked it from my memory.
Oh, she's blocked it from my memory.
I used to have the same thing with the nausea. I used to get not sickness, but just nausea. Like it was when I got out of bed in the morning, that sensation of getting out of bed from a laying position to standing, that first movement, I'd just get this wave of nausea take over my body, and it just caused this dreadful dry retching. It was so unpleasant. But then you'd be absolutely fine 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Some of the things you just would not associate with menopause, perimenopause, would you?
No.
You know.
No.
I mean,
Not
we've had
at
some
all.
very random things on, haven't we? Like itching. Do you have anything like that, or like feel like you've got? So is it spiders crawling up skin and all those sorts of things?
That's a very
And,
common one, isn't
I get
it?
like prickly heat quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like a prickly heat, like goosebumpy kind of thing. And like, I've become very sensitive to textures.
Okay.
It's kind of like almost like I don't know. Like it's almost it's just an instant reaction to it. Like if someone crinkles a particular type of paper next to me,
Yeah.
I suddenly go into full goosebumps on my arm, like I'm frozen to death.
Yeah.
But I can feel it. It feels like if you scrunch that paper, I feel like that scrunching is in me.
Yeah.
It's such an unusual sensation,
Yeah.
and I can feel tastes in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as well as taste, like if it's a really intense flavour, I don't just taste it, I can feel it. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So
I don't think-
it's
I don't
kind of like if you imagine it, like the way I would describe it is if you have like a really strong extra mature cheddar cheese or a really dry wine, that kind of sucky thing, it makes your cheeks
Oh, okay.
do.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's almost like makes the roof of your mouth itch. It's weird.
That's well
It's
bizarre.
really weird.
That is bizarre. That is the first on Wild Wise and Curious.
I've
not heard that one before.
Yeah, no, it's not a pleasant one. I'm not saying go find it. 'Cause it's awful. No, it's so unusual. It's so strange. Yeah.
So what other sorts of things are you having to put up with or like get through and learn about?
I mean, I think the body temperature thing is an issue. I'm unable to regulate my temperature at all.
So how are you finding it now? Because I mean, when I got in the car after work today, it was about 32, 33 degrees. So how do you find it?
I mean, I can't take any more clothes off without it being inappropriate, and I'm still like sweating.
Yeah.
Like, I've never sweated. I didn't know you could sweat as much as I do. I mean, it's like wringing out a dishcloth.
Yeah.
Some days, and it's just my hair has really suffered from perimenopause. Like my hair's so thin.
Yeah.
I used to have such thick hair.
Yeah, you did.
And now I've got really thin hair, and I've got a receding hairline. I never knew there were so many ways women could fall apart.
Or have to rebuild themselves.
Or have to rebuild themselves.
I've got extensions in because mine has gone so thin. I don't do false nails. I'm really, really low maintenance, but I refuse to that was the one thing I was like, no, I'm keeping my hair. So I've not got mine, but someone else's.
I stopped wearing makeup because it just sucked all the hydration out of my face.
Yes.
And so I was just, oh God, I'm starting to look so much like my mum. I look so like my mum now, and my skin's going like hers used to. I remember she had these dreadful dry patches here, but I remember my mum going through menopause, and I remember her saying to me when it was all done, it took her about 10 years.
Did it? Okay.
And I think that was before perimenopause was even known as a thing, so that was probably everything in total. But I remember her saying afterwards, she went, I don't know why your father stayed with me. I was horrid.
Yeah.
I was absolutely horrid, and I completely relate to that because I hear myself saying things and reacting in ways, and it's almost like my subconscious is going, Sarah, you can't say that.
But you can't stop yourself from saying it. I know.
That's another
Do the
thing
same.
As well. Your filter
goes. It's just gone.
You think it, you say it.
I
and
know.
Then you're like, oh God,
so you've got to try not to think it, right? Don't know how you do that.
So you're there trying to don't think that, because if you think that, it's going to come out of your mouth. I find myself looking around like, who's near me that knows me? Can I get away with it? Because I've really got to make an opinion about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so wild, which I kind of love.
Yeah.
But then you start the emotional roller coaster bit where you go through the guilt and the shame and I'm a dreadful person. Everybody hates me. I'm never leaving the house again. I'm quitting my job. I don't need to pay bills. I'll never have to see them. It'll all be fine. No one will ever know.
All of that.
And that's a 45-minute cycle of stuff.
Of course it is.
And that's all going on in your head, isn't it, as well? So I'm learning to internalise a lot of it, but it shows on my face. So so as much as all this stuff's going on and I'm thinking, oh my God, you're really irritating the hell out of me right now, and I need to rein it in before I start going really mental. And I'm really going through it all in my head, but my face is saying it all. without my mouth saying it. So I'm trying. I'm working really hard. I'm working really hard on
She's
that. She's
doing really well.
Well, I wasn't last week.
I
was a right girl.
you, Michelle.
I can see straight through it. But she does do really well.
She's doing really well. It's like the teacher at school, isn't it? She's doing so well.
She's trying really hard.
Yeah.
A for attitude.
A for attitude. But no, it's a real thing, isn't it? I mean, some bloke came down the street towards me the other day, and I was in a good mood, and I was driving towards him, and he basically overtook. I had right of way. He overtook a car so basically he was facing me. He was driving towards me on my side of the road, and I kind of thought. I was just pissed off with him. I'd gone from feeling really chill, and he had his window open, I had my window open, and I just went, twat! Really loud as I possibly could. And I actually wanted him to stop and go, who are you calling a twat? Because I wanted to say, you! Yeah.
Why
did
you
do that? That was just fucking stupid. So I used to be a lot better at minimising that, and I'd be like, oh well, he's obviously in a rush somewhere, he might be in a rush to see someone, da 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 da. But now, no, you're a twat. That's it.
Rick. That's it.
Exactly.
I had the same thing today, but it was people. 47 people irritated me today.
You counted them.
I counted. Do you know why? And I'll tell you why. This will make you angry as well, actually, initially, but we'll work through it. It's fine. 47 people walking dogs in this heat.
Oh wow!
Right?
Oh, okay. Oh my god! Yeah.
After about 12, I'd had enough.
Yeah.
So I had my windows down because I decided in a really sensible move to take the car with the broken air conditioning to work this morning, which I felt great when I got there, obviously because you're overheating anyway.
Yeah.
So there was people walking dogs, and I was just shouting out the window. I started quite nicely. Take it home, you prat.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's all right. It's
very
fine.
nice.
Getting into the 40s, and I was like, I've about had enough of this now. And if it had been number 48, I'd have pulled over. But I was just like, you're an absolute mon. Take your shoes off and walk on the fucking pavement. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
I was like, why don't you take your feet off? Take your shoes off and walk barefoot on the pavement. You tell me it's cool enough and I'll pay for your shopping. Don't do that, Sarah. You know, that's what I went for. That was my drive home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was just getting crosser and crosser and crosser. And I think going back to things that I've noticed since having perimenopause, I've developed a real issue with driving, guys. I don't like driving, and I absolutely hate driving at night.
Yeah.
If it's dark and you invite me somewhere, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it. The ball of anxiety that forms in my chest, I physically feel like I could scratch it out if I kept going.
Yeah.
And even though if I to drive the same route I drive every single day, I'd be adamant I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to get lost. What if something comes around the corner and I don't see it? Oh my God, I'm going to have a crash. I'm going to write the car off. Connor will never forgive me. And there we go. We spiral like that, and all of a sudden I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing. So all of those things are probably likely to happen. So I don't do it.
Yeah.
I think I found it very isolating earlier this year. So I think it was about March. I didn't leave my house for 2 weeks because I physically couldn't make myself, because I was just catastrophizing everything to the point of, if I get stopped at a red traffic light on my way to work, I'm going to get sacked because I'm late.
Yeah.
But luckily I have a wonderful therapist who helps manage me. And, you know, I go to her every now and again with this list of things, and she's like, right, let's work through them. But yeah, I've found therapy has been an absolute integral part of getting me through every single day of dealing with just being a girl sometimes.
Yeah. We talk quite a bit about is part of the filter coming off. Obviously there's the estrogen depleting, so your caring hormone is depleting.
But
Yeah.
also, you know, when you like look at all the kind of things that women have had to put up with over the years, it sometimes feels like once that sort of guards come down, it's a bit like, fucking hell, life has been like really out of balance, and I've done this and I've done this and I've done this and I've done this, and someone else has not done anywhere as near as much. So I don't know, sometimes we talk about that, don't we, about the sort of like the lack of balance.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? And I think I was kind of told about that when the GP finally figured out what was going on in that, and I was offered HRT.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really want to go anywhere near, because I didn't do a tremendous amount of reading about HRT because I wasn't interested. I'd always made up my mind it wasn't going to happen, but I'd kind of made my own reason for that, in that I kind of think, well, if I'm going to go on HRT, what happens then when I come off it? I'm going to have to go through all this again. Yeah. So I might as well just get it out of the way now, because why make myself miserable for the next 20 years instead of the next 10? Let's just do it, and then it's done, right? Yeah. So I've never done the HRT thing, but they explained to me about the estrogen and all of that. But I have got a funny HRT story if you would like me to share it.
Oh yes, we would like you to share it.
So I did ask permission before I shared this story to about me. The lady in question, who we both know, has she's full on menopausing. She's not Peri, she's doing it.
Oh,
she's like committed, we're going. And she went to the GP and they said, yeah, we're going to pop you on HRT. And she was like, okay, I have HRT. And they had said, would you like patches or would you like gel? And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, let's go with the gel. So, but there's a very, very, very specific way in which you have to apply it.
Yeah.
So this is at night, right? So we're ready for bed and we're going, right, I'm going to do my HRT. So it goes on the inside of your thighs.
Yeah.
But you can't touch it with your bare hands. You have to use the lid of the stuff thing, what it comes in. You can't touch it, and you can't move or make contact with anyone until it is completely dry. It's not a quick process, you're probably imagining. So this was what happened. So we'll get ready for bed, we're in our shorts ready. So we get on the bed in like this A-frame position like this. And he sat in like an A-frame like this, and we get the lid of the HRT with gloves on, get it on the lid, put it on the legs, into the inside of the thighs, and then we're sat there like this, just go... blowing on the HRT going, don't touch me. And this is a nightly procedure. So not only is there all of that to deal with, but then this process of how they help you to regulate your hormones when everything's diminished and you're probably not already the most attractive woman to your partner at the moment. They then put you in a position where you have to go, darling, look at this.
And don't touch me.
And I'm just like, for goodness sake, it didn't get any more ridiculous. So she switched to patches after that.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
After about a week of having to put up with that.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, it does take ages. It takes especially it takes ages to dry because I use the gel.
Do you do that?
No, well, no. I put it on straight after a shower in the morning.
Okay.
So I get out the shower and then I put it inside one thigh, inside the other, and then I put it on the tops of my arms.
Okay.
And then while I'm waiting for it to dry, I
do a little
dance, make a little love, get down tonight. No, I do my affirmations. So I do that.
That's probably more sensible.
Yeah. And also then by the time it comes to night time, it doesn't matter if anybody touches my inside thigh.
Slick.
Slick. So yeah, I don't even know why I started doing it in the morning. I think that was just then the
obviously
routine.
we know why.
Oh my God, my son has to edit these.
Amazing. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's excuse the pun. It's different strokes for different folks.
Yes. Oh my God, it so is. But you talking about the driving thing, I was exactly the same, and I've said it before on the podcast.
Were you?
Oh my God, it was a nightmare, right? When I first started going out and driving again, because it all kicked off during furlough, COVID and stuff. When I was out driving the car, if I went over a little not a manhole, what are they called? A little bump in the road.
Speed bump.
No, when there's a little pothole, that's it. It's like
you get a prize.
It's like not play your cards, right? But one of them pictures. I'll come back to
How many menopausal women minutes it take to answer a question?
Oh my God, we do it between us though. We almost don't need to talk. We almost don't need to talk because we know what we're talking about. Anyway, so when I go over a pothole at that point in time, I'd have to turn the car around and go and double check I'd not run a dog or something over. I was so anxious. I was like, anxiety and panic attacks were just through the roof. So that's why I went on HRT.
I'd never had a panic attack before until I was perimenopausing, and it's the scary. I thought I was dying. I thought I was going. I couldn't breathe.
No.
And I had to stop on the side of the road and be sick.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. And there was no trigger for it that I noticed was visible at the time. And then on reflection, I look back and I went, could it have been that, like, you know, you look back and think, what happened on that journey or what in that place or wherever you are when it happens, and you look back and you go, oh, maybe it was that, but you can't always put your finger on it.
No, you can't.
Which is really frustrating, and it just adds to the anxiety even more, really.
Yeah, it does.
It constantly feels like you're having to manage yourself, doesn't it? Like,
it does.
I remember I was in the car when I had a bit of a panic attack, and I literally had to sit there and go, right, you're safe. There's nothing here that's going to hurt you. You're absolutely able to. And I literally had to talk myself through this in order to be able to drive home.
Yeah.
And it was just having to manage myself.
Yeah. Even though before you'd have just got back in the car and driven home.
Yeah.
It's some of this stuff is just bonkers that you have to deal with, isn't it?
You couldn't make it up.
No, you couldn't. You really, really couldn't make it up. The mental health stuff, I think, is just. Well, I didn't even realise perimenopause was a thing like you know, it was like, it wasn't until I went and someone went, oh my God, you're so perimenopausal. I was like, oh, is that what this fucking hell is? But knowing what it was made it like, oh, okay, so I'm not falling off the planet. There is a reason that this is happening. And I'm not on my own because all the forums that I started to look at on social media and stuff.
Aren't they great?
Oh my God! Well, just when other people say, "Oh my God, I'm having panic attacks. I'm waking up with panic attacks in the night," or "I'm anxious from when I wake up until when I go to sleep. I just want to stay in bed all day." Blah 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 blah. I'm scared to leave the house, and all those sorts of things. And you go, "Oh my God, it's quite normal," even though it's really not your normal. But
Did you feel relieved when you figured out what it was?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it took I felt really relieved because I thought I was having a massive, like, mental breakdown. So I was relieved, but then it still took some time to get the hormone levels right. And it was only actually really when I added in testosterone that all the anxiety, panic attacks, irrational thoughts and all of that bollocks disappeared.
Really? That's interesting. I've never heard of testosterone being used before.
For me, it was
game changer.
Oh, massive game changer. Yeah, massive game changer. The estrogen and progesterone didn't really do much for my symptoms, for the mental health stuff. But the testosterone just, it took, I started on a really little amount, and after about 3 months they said your levels are still really, really low, so they put me on a little bit more. But then probably within the space of about 4 or 5 months of being on testosterone, I was like, holy shit, I feel like I did confidence-wise before I had the kids. I feel like I've got all of my faculties back. Really? I'm back in the room. I still forget things, and I still get the roller coaster. The roller, I know. Still get the roller coaster. I was saying to Lou yesterday morning, I just burst into tears before I went into work, and it was just like, oh, where's this come from?
And easy to manage though now.
Oh God, yeah. And it's actually, for me, I don't mind feeling grumpy. I don't mind feeling like I'm going to burst into tears. It's the things that I don't want are the anxiety, the panic attacks, the irrational thoughts, the things where you saying the catastrophizing. It was all of those things that made me start HRT. Because I don't know if you remember, I know you talk about my plummy pruny shit tea because I won't even do caffeine. Medication and stuff was like a massive no-no. So
you were always, Captain Herbal, weren't you?
Yeah, Captain Herbal.
Perhaps in healthy herbal. But no, you were. But that was always a good thing. And you were always, like, every time I saw you, you were always eating a piece of fruit or drinking your plummy pruny stuff. And that was wicked. That was always wicked. And you were, like, the healthiest person I knew. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I know where
and
I'm
it's
going
still,
with that.
no, but it's still, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how healthy you are or how much you look after yourself.
Yeah.
You still just don't know what might be. And some women don't have any symptoms at all. They just float on through. Their period stops, and then boom, it's like life carries on, but without.
I do enjoy not having periods anymore, though. That is quite fun.
See, I'm on now.
Like, why?
I don't know.
What do you need it
Mother
for?
Nature decided to give me the blobs again. I don't know. I thought they'd stopped last year.
The blobs. That's so funny.
But yeah.
Oh God! But do you think there's a thing? Obviously, you guys are a hell of a lot more researched about this stuff than I am, and I thought of one thing that I absolutely wanted to ask you, just out of sheer interest and from personal experience as well. Do you think that the perimenopause and menopausal process and all of the stuff starts earlier if you start your periods younger?
I think we've heard that before. I don't actually know the answer, to be really honest with you.
I was 9 when I started my periods.
Wow, that's really young, isn't it?
That's like proper young, isn't it? Because I always remember, because we hadn't had any education about it or anything.
No, not at 9.
And I remember getting up in the morning in my Tom and Jerry pyjamas and thinking that there'd been some sort of Texas chainsaw massacre.
Oh, bless you.
And I went to my mum and I was like really frightened, and she just looked at me and she went, "Oh yes, you've started your periods," and that was the end of the conversation. And then gave me what she believed to be a sanitary towel, which of course in 1990 was a single mattress. Kind of thing. Do you remember?
For a 9-year-old,
oh
my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Bloody thing. Yeah, so you're walking like you've lost your horse at
Yeah.
9.
Oh my God.
And your mum goes, "You don't need to tell anyone." I was like, "I'm genuinely not going to tell anyone. It's all right." And yeah, so I've always wondered if whether this was something that was kick-started by my procedure that I had, or if this is something that would have happened anyway. The what ifs.
I think there's so many what ifs at this time. I can only speak from my own experience of the what ifs. When I started and had all the panic and anxiety, we were in COVID on lockdown. So would it have been the same if that wasn't a thing? If we'd have just carried on going to work and being around people, would I have had it so severe? I don't know. And I think it's probably the same with you. I don't know. Was it
is it something that can be triggered, or is it just literally the natural process?
Is it written in the stars that Sarah is going to start to go into perimenopause at this time, regardless of what happens in her? Really don't actually know. What about your mum? Was she did her period start early, and how old was she?
I don't know when my mum started her periods, but I know she was in her 50s when she menopaused.
Oh wow, okay.
So
pretty average.
Bog standard average, really.
Yeah.
So I was looking at kind of what the percentages were of women starting earlier and at what ages, because
it's tricky, isn't it?
Well, from a physiological perspective, we're born with all our eggs, right? We're born with billions of eggs.
Yeah.
So, and they decline quite rapidly. So I think you're only left with like a few thousand. And it's just, so that from a physiological perspective, yes, you're having them from an early age and having periods over a number of years.
Using them up quicker.
You're losing them, certainly. So
I think one of the reasons that I ended up having the ablation was because it got to the point where no matter what contraceptive they put me on, hormonal contraceptive, nothing stopped me from. I mean, my ex-husband said to me, he said, "I don't trust something that bleeds for that long and doesn't die," because I'd literally bleed solidly for like 2 months.
Wow.
And then I had what did I have? I tried both of the types of pills, the combined one and the mini. I had the depot injection. I had that. That didn't do anything. Then I had the implant, which I was very against because I didn't like the idea of something in me that I couldn't get out, especially because you could feel it. And if you had your shopping bag on your elbow, and ouch. But I thought, right, do you know what? Last ditch attempt, let's crack on. They put the implant in, and I did not have a period for 2 years.
Wow.
It was, oh my God, it was spectacular. I had the best 2 years of my life. And then everything horrifically came crashing down, and I came on my period, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. It started quite nicely, and this is lovely. I'm all right. And then we went, and I bled for 9 months.
Holy wow!
I ended up with severe anemia, and I was on iron tablets, and they were like, we can give you something to stop it, but it might start again. So they ended up taking the implant. So then they took the implant out, and that's when we had the conversation about the ablation, because they were like, is your family complete, Sarah? And I'm like, mate, I've got 3 boys, 2 of whom have got severe special needs. I'm getting off. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool, so we can offer you this, it'll sort everything. Okay. And that was the end of the conversation. That was it. And as far as aftercare goes, you're done, that's it, go, good luck.
We hear that quite a bit,
and so I think a conversation about this, if it is a thing that can be triggered, is something potentially that women should, get a little bit of a heads up about, because it's funny stuff aside, it's a wild ride, and it's quite debilitating. I've had weeks where I haven't been able to go to work because of it, and I haven't been able to do what my kids want me to do with them because of it, and my partner has had frustrated evenings because I haven't, if look at me wrong and I'll hit you with the lamp kind of thing. It's crazy and it's hard.
So what are you doing to manage all that then, Sarah? So you've not gone on HRT?
No, I haven't. I didn't want to, and I maintain that unless I come to the point where I'm unmanageable for myself. And then I would maybe consider it as a last ditch attempt. But I really don't want to, because I feel like it'll backtrack me, because I've been at this for a good few years now. It's interesting because I've tried lots of things. I did the yoga thing. Which was all right, but Misha will probably tell you I've never been the most exercisey person. I like my sofa and my TV and my snacks. I've got a therapist who I spend a lot of time with, who is absolutely wonderful. She helps me unpack my head, which is very necessary, because it gets very foggy and very busy and very loud. And one of the other things that has happened with menopause is that I've developed a real hatred of silence. Okay. I find it really uncomfortable. It's too loud. You can hear everything. I don't like it. And so that's why I think my head's continually busy as well. So managing that is something that I struggle with. So I go to see my therapist, and she helps me deal with it. And she was the one that talked to me about how I catastrophize everything, and she gives me things to manage that. So she taught me what she calls the smoke alarm technique. So when your smoke alarm goes off in your kitchen, when you're burning toast, or it just randomly goes off because somebody's had a fag in the kitchen or whatever, what did you immediately evacuate your house? No, of course you don't. You go for your sweeping brush and you're there.
Waving, yeah.
So she said to me, what you're doing with everything, Sarah, whether it's a severe situation like life or death, or you're stuck at a set of traffic lights, you're immediately evacuating the house because the smoke alarm's going off. Okay. What you need to do is you need to go, look, do I need to evacuate the house, or do I just need to get the broomstick?
Okay. I love that analogy.
So every time I now find myself in a situation where I feel it start building in my chest.
Yes.
And every time I feel that, I go, right, smoke alarm's going off. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a self-grounding method that Kelly taught me, which is just amazing, and I use it probably on a good week 4 times a week, maybe. On a bad day, it's anything up to 10 times a day. That smoke alarm is going off all the time. But I learned to do that, and journaling's really helped me. I find I have to empty my head onto a piece of paper. So when I'm not seeing Kelly, I write everything down. I diary everything. I write fiction. I write poetry. I put it into creativity, and I make things out of my mess. I think that that Mish would appreciate. The internal drama student in both of us really helps us to manage this. I think if I wasn't a creative person, I might have had a mild breakdown by now. Yeah. So yeah, I'm all about getting it out. I have to get it out somehow. Yeah, almost like purging myself of the anxiety in whatever form it becomes. So that's why I use radio as well, because music is such a huge therapy for me. And I have my playlist of things that I will listen to depending on which emotional cycle I'm in at the time to help me regulate. And yeah, Kelly calls it emptying my stress bucket. So I've got a stress bucket tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. Brilliant. Yeah.
So that's my stress bucket that I have to empty. And the thing is, because when you perimenopause and your bucket's never empty, you take a bit out and you manage it, but then there's constantly being filled back up again to the point it's going to pour. It's going to tip over and pour everywhere, and that's when you find yourself where you can't leave your house for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
The writing, I think, is really important. I think I've found that really helpful. There was a time where I was trying to get in touch with a therapist, and the therapist wasn't answering. And I was like, "What do I do with all this stuff in my head?" So I just started writing, and I wrote it all out. And then by the time she'd got back to me, I was like, I've transmuted it a bit now. It's all out of my head. It's all there, and actually, I'm good. I don't think I need to speak to you anymore. And it was just that whole dumping everything out of here onto the page, and it had gone. And I literally just scribbled. And it makes such a difference.
It's an outlet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't have a tremendous amount of girlfriends. I have quite a small circle, which I like, because that's another thing alongside the driving. I used to be like the biggest socialite. Like if we went to the pub or if we went dancing, and I was number one. I was first there. Right, I don't care if it's too early. There's a song playing and I want to dance to it, and I'd be there and I'd be doing that. But now I'm like, people, crowds, busy. I used to spend so much time in London going to the theatre. And it gives me the thought of going on the tube. I can feel it now, just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, this claustrophobic feeling and the anxiety that comes with it, and the planning and the prep. You have to build yourself up to do this stuff. It's just ridiculously overwhelming. It's so overwhelming.
And to balance that out, it doesn't feel worth the effort, does it? A lot of the time, so you just think, actually, I'm not going to bother. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And so to be able to journal and write stuff down, it's that difference that just, rather than when you have like your girls around you and go, "Oh, mate, how was your perimenopause day?" That's a bit of a weird conversation starter. But you get together and you go, "How was your day?" "Shit, mate, you won't believe what so and so said," and you have almost like the gossipy catch up.
Yes.
I do that with my notebook.
Yes. Yeah.
And what I love about it is that it doesn't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. It won't answer you back. Yeah.
And imagine all those notes you've now got that you could turn into a play.
I'm going to hand that to you for a script. It's funny, but I mean, I'm writing a novel at the minute as well, based on my best friend, and kind of this is all incorporated into it, and it's kind of her story through her Facebook statuses, because she's one of these like trauma dumps on Facebook statuses.
Yeah.
And some of them are the funniest things you'll ever read. Like she had a really emotional relationship with a bowl of pasta.
Okay.
And so much so, she used to sing John Legend to her pasta. All of me loves all of you. And so that then became the first chapter of the book. And so it developed from there, and I've been able to incorporate, bless her, she's going to be so cross with me because I've made her perimenopausal, even if she isn't, just because it's so important to like tell these funny stories, because on a bad day you genuinely feel like it's all just shit and it's never going to get better, so when you can laugh about it,
exactly that,
it's so cool to be able to.
It really is.
I'm not going insane, thank God.
Well, yeah, and when somebody else turns around and says, "Mate, I know exactly how you feel," and they can share theirs, and you know that they actually do. They're not just bullshitting you. Like when everyone goes, "I know how you feel," they don't. No,
but they genuinely do.
Oh God, yeah.
It's quite reassuring, isn't it?
Yes, it really, really is. It really is. Oh, well, it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's been lovely. Really, really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Wild, Wise and Curious. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to email us at info@wildwiseandcurious.com or reach out on our socials at wild_wise_and_curious. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay curious and we'll see you next time.